Okay, here we are. Okay, again, hello, how are you? I want to welcome you to today's course, English for Business, in this case for intermediate level. We're going to see session 5 that is using the Circles app. In this case, it is part of Unit 1 that it is Introduction to Imports and your teacher, Liliana Kipulko. As every week, we're going to see first the course considerations. So first, you must speak English during the entire conference. If you're not able to write everything in English, you can write a little bit in Spanish, but do your best effort to write everything in English, okay? Then second, you can ask questions. If during the course of the conference, if I see any kind of questions, I will make a pause and try to answer the best as I can. Third, I would really appreciate if you can share maybe anecdotes, experiences, or any kind of problems that are related to the subject so we can help you out. And finally, at the end of the session, we will have an exam. This exam is a multiple choice question exam with 4 alternatives. In this case, you will not only find questions for the exam, also you will find some questions for you to let us know how the class was. Now, today's session is using Serpos app. In this case, I'm assuming that you already know what is Serpos, right? Serpos is the National Postal Service here in Peru. So every time we buy from AliExpress, Alibaba, Wish, or any other kind of e-commerce platform, it is most likely that we will use Serpos, especially if we are using the free shipping option or if we are using the EMS option. Okay, so if you have ever buy from any kind of those options, you already know what Serpos is. Oh, let me. So now that we already know that you know what Serpos is, we're going to go straight to the Serpos app. Have you ever used Serpos app? Maybe you have, maybe you haven't. In this case, Serpos has an app that you can download from the App Store, and they have some characteristics, and they offer some services, free services, and the download is also free. Unfortunately, right now I cannot show you on my cell phone this app because um, the option of downloading it is not available. Why? Because right now they have some trouble. Suppose is going through a change of structure, so a lot of procedures, a lot of services are like in a kind of a standby status. So one of them is the Serpos app. If you have already downloaded the app to your cell phone, you will be able to use it and to check it. But if you haven't, once you try right now to go to click into the link that I'm going to give you at the end, you will have that it is not available. So I tried to call Serpos, I tried to get some information, and they said that it is going to take a couple of weeks so they can figure that out. So we are able to check and to download again. But even though we are not allowed to see it right now on real time, we are able to have some print pages, in this case print like from the cell phone, so we will know how exactly what we are going to see exactly in the future when we download this app. So the app is going to allow us three main options. We're going to be able to check the package and the conference and the correspondence status. So this is the one in here, the first one. Then we're going to be able to check shipping rates. That is the one from here. And finally, we're going to be able to consult offices nationwide. That is the one in here. Also at the bottom, we're going to see more information that we are going to be able to see like a little map to see where the offices are. We are able to have some information, and we are going to be able to also send some if we have any kind of opinions about the app and the service. But the main three um, services, or the three most important options from the app are these three. Okay. Now, first, if we are going to download the app, the first thing we have to do is to create a user. So in this case, for using the app, we need to create a user to be able to use it. Okay. So this is the link to the App Store. I'm leaving that link in here, so you're going to be able to click it and to just go straight. I'm going to give you an example by clicking it and share you my webpage so you can see how it looks right now. Okay. Okay. Let me check if you're okay. So right now, if you click on the link from the App Store, you're going to see this that they are sorry, Google is sorry, but the requested URL was not found on the server. Why is that? That's because, like I told you, they're having right now Serpos is going through some changes in their structure, so they don't have they have put in standby some services, and one of the services that is on standby is the download of the app. But again, if you have already downloaded the app, you will be able to check it out, to go or to log in without any kind of problem. Okay. So once we in the future, in a couple of weeks, are able to go and download the app, we're going to see this option. So first, this is the first screen that we're going to see, and we're going to create user that is in here. Then after you click on created user, you will be asked to put your main information. In this case, you will put your complete name. If you have 2 names, 3 names, 4 names, you have to put them all your names and your last names, both of your last names. This is very important because Serpos is going to take the information to know who the person is, who the importer is in this case. Okay. So you need to put your complete names. Then you're going to put your number document. In this case, it will be for us, Peruvians, our ID or DNA in Spanish. After that, we're going to put our mobile number, in this case, cell phone number. We're going to put it here. And finally, we're going to add an email. In this case, the email is in order for us, if we lost or if we forget our password, we're going to be able um, to create a new create a new password from our email. We're going to get to our mail and email with a link to put a new password. After you put this information, you're going to click in here that says next, and you're going to create a password. You're going to create a password, and after that, you're going to put that password again. In this case, I can tell you that my password is not that long, it's not that complicated. It only has like five numbers and no 5 letters and 3 numbers. So they are not that hard on how to create a password. Sometimes they ask you to have a capital letter, to have an amount of letters, an amount of numbers, and some signs, for example, maybe a dot or a comma. But in this case, our post is very simple. Just with a couple of letters and a couple of numbers, it's okay. So after you create your password and you put it again, you're going to click on next. Then you are going to find your house, your address. So you will see a map on your cell phone. So what you're going to do is you're going to move the the map with your fingers, like if you were using Google Maps, or maybe if you were using your just the regular taxi applications, the taxi apps like Beat or Uber app when you're trying get a taxi and you have to you don't put the address, but you put on check on the map and you have to move the map around with the fingers on your screen. It's going to be the same. You're going to put and you're going to check with the little dot in here where your house is, and after you select where your address is, you're going to check on next. After this, you're going to get the following message that says thank you for registering and the Starbucks logo. You're going to click on start and you will be sent um, to the main screen that they will ask you to put your email and your password. So in here you will put the email that you put in here. This is the same, you're going to put it in here, and the password that you created in here. And after that you're going to check on start, in this case signing. After you sign in, you're going to see this screen. So you're going to see this screen with the three main options. Okay, so using the first option, it will be for tracking, to track our shipment. So for track your shipment, you will need a tracking code. In this case, most of the tracking codes have two numbers, two letters, nine numbers, and two letters at the end. Usually the last two letters are from the country where the product is coming from. In this case, CM from China, and let's say another example is JP that is from Japan. Okay, so how you get this tracking code? If you buy from let's say AliExpress, to get a free shipping won't give you a tracking code. But if you buy via AliExpress and you pay for your shipping $3 and you click on get a tracking code, so that's why you are paying $3, you will get this number. Your supplier is going to send you as soon as as soon as your supplier ships your product, he's going to send you a message, let's say via Alibaba, AliExpress, and I have also seen it in eBay. They're going to send you a message letting you know the tracking number. So if you already worked with a courier, let's say UPS or FedEx or TNT, you already know how to work or how to check the tracking code or on their main web pages. So this is the same. Your supplier is going to give you a tracking code, and this is the one that you're going to check on the Serpos app. So in here, you're going to put this code. So we can see here an example. It is the same, an example. Two letters, nine numbers, and two letters at the end, in this case, from China. After you put the complete code, the complete tracking code is going to take you automatically to the following screen. In this case, you're going to see the number, you're going to see the origin, that it is from Beijing, and it is an EMS. So it is an express mail shipping. And you're going to see where the office is. In this case, it is the Postal Administration of Villa María del Triunfo, and you're going to see some information in here and the person. Okay, in this case, the person that is going to get the product is this person from here. This is an example. This is the shipping data, the most important or the main the main information of the shipping. Now, how can I know where my product is right now, or if I am able to go pick it up, or if it is coming to my house? So for that, you're going to check in here in history. So you're going to check in here, and it's going to open the following screen. So in here you can see that it says that your shipment already got to Serpos, to Lima, and you're going to see here the date and the hour, and then you will be able to see that your shipping is on transit to the postal administration of Villa María del Triunfo, but it is not available for delivery. So you're going to see here the date and the hour also. Now, it goes straight to delivered, okay? And says the time, in this case, the time and the date. So it is most likely that the person saw that the product was already going to their local postal office, and they went straight to pick it up. That's why it says deliver. But what happens if what happens if I cannot go to my postal office? So after this information, you're going to get an information that is going to say in here that the shipping is already in the María Triunfo postal office, but it is already available for um, delivery. Okay, so in this case, it means that you can go to the postal office and pick it up, or you can wait for the mailman to bring it to your house. If you decide not to go to the postal office, you will get another message that is going to say that the shipping is in transit to delivery. So in this case, it means that the mailman has already taken your package and is on their way to your house. In this case, on their way to deliver all the products and finally go to your house. And after that, once you get the product, you're going, if the person, even if the person, if the mailman goes to your house, or if you go to the surplus postal office, you will have to sign a paper that you are receiving the product. So after that information is updated on the system, it's going to appear in here that it was delivered and the time and the date. Okay, remember that it usually takes, once the product is already in Serpos Lima, it takes like a couple of days. It could be 2 to 4 days, depending if it is on Friday, but usually it takes 2 to 3, 4 days for you to be able to go pick up the product at the office, and maybe one more day for the mailman to take it to your house. Okay, so this will be the procedure to check how to track our shipment. That is the most important for this class, and that one that we're going to use more. But remember that we said that we have already 2 more options. So in this case, we're going to see the next one. The next one is how to check your the rates, shipping rates. In this case, you're going to go back to the beginning, and you're going to click on check on shipping rates. You're going to click it in here on your screen on your cell phone, and you're going to see the following information. In here, you're going to check the country. In this case, it would be Peru. Let's say that we're checking shipping rates for Peru, but you can also check for another country. So that's great. If we don't want to send products just to Peru, but we want to send products to China or to Italy, we can check it in here. After that, we're going to click our. After that, we're going to check our the destiny. In this case, if it is Lima, or maybe Callao, or maybe Cusco, or maybe Arequipa. And after that, we're going to select not just we're going to select the city. Okay, so we're going to put in here the city, and finally we're going to put the weight. In this case, we're going to put the weight in grams. So if we are sending, let's say, we can put 150, or we're sending 150 grams, but let's say that we're going to be sending 2 kilograms. So we are not going to put just two. We have to put 2,000, because 2 kilograms would be 2,000 grams. Okay, so be careful with this, because this is for grams. In this case, finally, um, we're going to click in here, check shipping rates. So we have in here the origin, and finally we're going to put the destiny. Okay, so let's say we're going to be sending products from Peru, from Lima, and the destiny would be Cusco. So we're going to put in here the weight that is going to be, in this example, 150 grams, and we're going to click on check. And in this case, calculate. So after we put in here, we click on that button, we are going to have this information. That is the shipping rate calculator. So we said that the destiny, the country of destiny is Peru, the origin is Lima Metropolitana, the destiny is Cusco, 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 and the weight in grams is 150. So we have in here two options for shipping. We have the standard shipping that is 6.5 soles, that is a certificated shipping, and the other one is a special shipping that it would be 8 soles. If we need any more information about what's the difference from option from this option from option to option, we can just click in here, or we can go straight to the main to Serpo's web page, and we can check in there the differences between one shipping and the other. So that's the most easy way to check it. And finally, we have the how to check the offices nationwide. So in this case, what happens if I am in, let's say, if I'm in Los Olivos and I want to send a product, or I want to pick up my product, in this case, what I'm going to, but I don't know where my local postal office is, so I'm going to I'm going to click in here, and we're going to check our region. In this case, we will be checking our region, then it will be Lima. We are going to check then for our city, that will be Lima in this case again. And finally, we're going to check for our district. In this case, we're going to check it for Lima, Lima district. After we check all of this information, we select the information. We're going to click on continue, and we're going to see this information in here. Okay, we're going to have the department, in this case the province, the city, the district, and we're going to have three options. In this case, this is the postal office, this is the administration office, and this is another postal office. So we have two postal offices, as you can see here. So what happens if I have two postal? If I just have one, it means that I just have to go to the main postal, to the only postal office. But if we have two, in this case, we will have to call in here to check which of these ones is the one where we have to go to pick up our product. Now, if we already have the tracking code in here, if we already have the tracking code, we are going to see here destiny. So if our destiny here says postal, let's say, yeah, let's go back. It says postal office from Quirón Camena, 1790 La Colmena is going to appear in here. That is the postal office or the administration postal office. So we're going to be able to check which one is the one that we have to go to. Again, if that information is not completed, because sometimes, not always, but sometimes there will be some confusions or some mistakes on the app, we are able to call to the offices to ask for the information. You're going to see here the number, the direct number to this postal office. So this is not the general um, call center, the central number of Serpost, because when you try to call to the central number, it takes a little while to someone to answer to you. So if in this case you will have the direct number, and it is better because it is easier, it is quick. But sometimes, like in this case, you will not find a telephone number. For example, this administration postal office doesn't have a number. So in this case, if we want to communicate with them, we will have to call the central Serpost number, to the central Serpost number, or as a last result, as a last resource, we will have to uh, we will have to go to the address. Okay. Now, this is the link, the direct link to download the app. But as I told you right now, as we saw at the beginning, Circles right now is going through a change of the structure of their structure of them as a office from the government. So they right now don't have. For example, I tried to call yesterday to Circles, and I was holding online like 30 minutes and they never answer. And I know that in here, for example, the my postal office is the one that is next to San Martin de Porres, um, in maybe you know it is here in um, Panamericano Norte with Hadish Avenue. So that's the one that is for my where I live, the postal office that I have to go because of my current address. So they have like half the people that used to work. So let's say if there was let's say 6 to 7 people working there, right now they have 4. So it is almost half of the people. So they are taking a little more time. And what they say is that they are going to run a structure, so change of structure. So we will have to wait maybe a couple of weeks for it to for for they to fix it up, so we can download the app again. Even though you already have the information, so you will be able to download it and you will already know how to use it once you are able to download it. Now we're going to see the main web page of Cepos. So I'm going to share to you let me check. We're going to check right now the Cepos web page. Okay, so give me 1 second. I'm going to share to you okay, right here. Okay, so in here we are in the main web page of Cepos. So as you can hear, they're letting us know that due to some problems with the weather, there are some changes. But also, like I told you, there's not only about the weather, it is also about change of the structure. So we just click in here on the X, and we will have all this information. As you can see here, they are they are like letting us know that we can download the app, even though it is not available right now. We have in here the option. So remember that we will just have to wait a couple of weeks for us to have the availability of the option again. Now, in here, you are going to be able to find which products are prohibited. So in this case, this is very important. In this case, you, under any circumstances, are allowed to send these products. If you're sending these products, in this case, explosive, uh, products that can catch on fire, infectious substances or radioactives, drugs, obviously, let's say, um, perishable products, products that can get rot, can go bad, batteries that are made of lithium, uña de gato, perfumes, products that are considered like from the government, from cultural, in this case from the government for our country. So these are the kind of products that we are not allowed to send. Okay. And finally, here we're going to be able to find the services. In this case, it will be personal products. We can check national destinies and international destinies. First, we're going to see national destinies, okay? So, this is the national destinies for products. In this case, it says that, okay, yes. It says that you can send up to 31.50 kilograms from place to place. It takes approximately or up from 2 days in the national territory, in this case in Peru, and the price will depend of your local. If it is local, it means inside Lima, or if it is national to another place. And the let me click it here, okay. And the dimensions cannot exceed the 1.50 meters, so you will have to check your width, your height, so it doesn't exceed the 1.50 meters. Okay, so this is the national for national destinies, and we have for international destinies also. That is the time of estimated time of delivery. It's 15 days. Remember that it says 15 days, but could take a little longer, up to 15 days, but it could take a little longer. It usually take a couple days more. You have 190 countries to send to. You can send also up to 2 kilograms, and depending on where you are sending the product, you can check your rates. But we also have products for business. In this case, for companies, we have also for national companies. We have in here 48 hours, 24 hours. It is a little more faster. And we have also for international, that it is also up to 15 days. And you can see here it doesn't include the time in customs locally here in origin or in destiny. So it is for the shipping, they take, for all the procedures, they take 15 days, but if the customs in Destiny take a little longer, it will be take a couple of days longer. For example, from my experience, I have some products from via Post to the United States of America. I paid for the service, the delivery service of 15 days, up to 15 days, that it was the cheapest one, the one that was the least expensive. And because of problems with the customs over there, not problems, but because of customs procedure on Destiny, on the United States of America, the product got to the person's house. It took 20 days. So it was the 15 days that Serpos told me, plus 5 more days for the United States of America customs to clear everything and let the product get to the person that was the one that was going to deliver the product. So this is a regular. So in here you can check the other services. We have the regular, we have the certificated one, we have small packages, we have the encomiendas, and we have the EMS. EMS is the one that I told you, that is the one that it is a little more faster. It says the express mail service. When you are buying from AliExpress, Alibaba, AliExpress, Alibaba, and eBay, you will be able to use the free shipping. That is going to be the regular one. You're going to use the one that has a tracking code, and the other option is the EMS. The EMS is a little more expensive. It's not that expensive as a courier, but um, it is not that. It is not $3, so maybe it's just a couple dollars, a couple a couple less dollars than if you were using a private courier like DHL or TNT or UPS or FedEx. Okay, so in this case, the EMS is the fastest of the postal services for international destinies. In this case, let's say that it could take up to 7 days, but um, it is not exactly 7 days. For example, when I have some clients that they get pros from Japan, and from Japan it takes approximately to 10 to 15 days. So it will be the 7 days that the EMS needs for the delivery, plus 7 extra days for any kind of problems, or in this case, not problems, but for Peruvian customs to clear the product to get to the house, to the person's house. I'm from China. It is almost the same amount of time, 10, 15 days if you're using EMS. 2 weeks, let's say. Yes, 2 weeks approximately. Remember that it is not for all the countries. There are some restrictions, especially when you're buying from AliExpress, Alibaba, and eBay. Especially from AliExpress and Alibaba, they will ask you first to give your country of destiny, in this case Peru, and if the supplier is allowed to send this courier to use the EMS, you will have the option. If it is not, if it is restricted, you will just find the option like in here, like in a gray color, so you won't be able to click it to select it. Now, the weight is up until 30 kilograms, and usually when you get pros from EMS, you get from 1 kilo. The usual pros that I have seen for you for personal use is from sorry, so it's from 1 kilo to 5 kilograms, 1 kilogram up to 5 kilograms. But if you are bringing for an EMS shipping for um, commercial use, in this case for sale, maybe you will need a little more kilograms, but it will mean that it will be a little expensive, more expensive. Okay, so you have to check. In here, if you click, you can check later using where it's coming from, where it's going to, um, an approximately amount of how much it will be. And remember that it must not exceed the 1.50 meters in, like if we are talking about dimensions. So maybe if you are getting just a small box with, let's say we're going to import keychains to sale, it would be okay. You will be able to use the EMS, and you will get your product um, in 2 weeks approximately. Okay, so let me copy the link. So finally, I'm going to leave you in here the references where we got the information from. This YouTube video is really, really important. It's really nice if you can check it later. You will find all the information from the app that we already saw. And finally, I'm going to leave you in here that link to the exam. So let me check it here. Okay. So this is the link for the exam and survey that we will really appreciate if you can answer. And remember to check all the material and see the video again, so you are going to be able to answer with the correct um, answers the exam. And finally, I want to thank you for your attention. I hope that you learned a little bit today more about, in this case, using the Serpos app. Remember that this was session 5, and I hope to see you next week for session 6. Okay, I hope you have a great weekend, and I will see you next week. So take good care of you, and bye bye.